Generational curses and ghosts in the night. I grew up in a haunted house. It was just a fact of life that I'd always accepted and didn't really question until I was closer to my teen years. Some of my earliest childhood memories are of spooky happening. Once I saw my mother walking down the street at night while she was supposed to be getting something from the car after we returned home late. When she came back and I asked where she went and she told me she hadn't gone anywhere, just to the car and back. Once I distinctly remember waking up in my crib or toddler bed to a toy lit up and playing music on the other side of the bed far out of my reach. I was always afraid to look into the upstairs bathroom when I walked down the hall, and I would argue if I was upstairs alone, convinced something was going to grab me from one of the rooms, even in broad daylight. As I got older, things got a little more aggressive. In high school, I took a selfie with an old school digital camera. I'm an elder millennial. Shut up, and there was very distinctly a shadow hand reaching around from behind my head. Once I had come home from school and my entire bed frame had been moved a good 8 inches away from the wall. Then the shadow man became a regular visitor. I had always seen him out of the corner of my eye my whole life, but he started getting closer, more frequently, right beside me, at the foot of my bed, etc. I would hear things like footsteps on the stairs or the front door unlocking when I was home alone. I once woke up with a bruise in the shape of a handprint on my arm. I can't even begin to list all the things that happened in my teenage years. But in short, I fully accepted that I had some level of psychic abilities, as did many of my female family members. I know it sounds cliche, but it was just a fact of life for us. We determined that, because I was open to it, spirits were drawn to me, and that's why our house was so active, but the entities weren't consistent, besides the shadow man and a few resident ghosts that didn't really bother anyone. At one point, when I was away at college, my parents had a friend of my mom's come in and sage the house. She claimed that my bedroom was the most active and the darkest, but also identified a shadow man attached to my mom, who she supposedly banished. When I came home, the house felt all wrong. It didn't feel cleansed, it felt more like we were in a bubble or a zoo exhibit. It was very claustrophobic, and for a long time, I tried to shut down my psychic sensitivities and ignore everything because it just made me so uncomfortable. I am just now, 10 years later, starting to try and open myself back up. Here's where the problem comes in. Like I said before, many of the women in my family have some level of psychic abilities. My aunt just calls it the gift, and her daughter has it too. But I learned a few years ago that her daughter, my cousin, also had a shadow man, and he was much more aggressive. He would talk to her, torment her, tell her to harm herself, all sorts of terrible things. I've known for years that if I ever had a daughter, there was a good chance she would also be born into the gift, but I became worried she would also have a shadow man, and who knows what he would be like. Mine terrified me for years, but my cousin's was volatile. Well, here we are. I now have a 2-year-old daughter. We are living in my childhood home, don't judge, and she has started responding to things that aren't there. I'll wake up in the night to her sitting up in bed and waving at the corners saying hi. My mom has told me about a number of times while I'm at work that she will come running to my mom, crying hysterically like she's afraid when nothing is there. While those things can be explained away by toddler behavior, the house has gotten much more active as of late. I've started seeing figures again, always outside in the yard, and hearing voices when we are home alone. My mom has started asking if I've noticed activity, as she has started seeing figures inside the house. Recently, one of my daughter's balls flew out from under the kitchen table by itself, right in front of us. That was a new one. I don't know what to do at this point. We can live with the activity we have for 30 years, but I need to protect my daughter. I'm trying to figure out how to manage my own abilities and ward against potential trial negative energies and entities, so I can help her if and when she starts asking questions. My mom's shadow man is gone, but mine isn't. And now I fear my daughter may be seeing one as well. I mostly just needed to vent. but any advice is welcome as well. Thanks for listening, and blessed be.